guys, how are you doing? A very special day today because we have a Golf 8R again, and we today want to test how fast this car really goes on the Autobahn, because this is the one with the performance pack. We finally have summer tires on, and we will see if we can really reach that 270 kilometers GPS speed on the box. But before we head on the Autobahn, let's first check out how fast this car goes 0 to 100 with summer tires. But if you actually change the settings to rollout being on, settings in that box, you will be amazed what the result is. So very interesting fact, by just changing the settings to rollout being on, we just shaved off a tenth and a half, almost 2/10 of the time, because now we have a 4.3, still 0 to 100, but with that rollout function turned on. Well guys, I have one more for you. I now changed the setting even to 0 to 60 miles per hour with that rollout function still being on, and this is the setting that also, for example, Matt Watson from CarWow is doing, and we will do another test. Very anxious to see that result. So guys, bear that in mind once you're comparing and judging about times. It's a huge difference between a 0 to 60 and a 0 to 100 with that rollout function turned off. Always keep in mind our times that we are doing is always 0 to 100. The functionality of course is turned off, which means that we're really measuring from the standstill to 100 and not, let's say, from this tiny rolling start. But let's now head out on the Autobahn and see how fast the car really goes top speed. And I want to also find out if we can even beat that 100 to 200 time which we already had, which was amazing on winter tires. Should be even a tiny bit faster with the summer tires. Gosh guys, this is simply amazing for a stock Golf 8R. I can only repeat it, it's a stock Golf 8R. The car managed to do 290 kilometers per hour on speedo, and if you're now saying, well, speedo is inaccurate, that's not fast enough, also the GPS showed 276 point something. I was not even able to see it on the GPS. So I mean, it's doing that 270 kilometers per hour, very reliable, and you can still feel that the car is actually electronically limited. You can also see that at the horsepower and at the turbo pressure, that it drops more or less a bit at 290 kilometers per hour, which means if the car would be unlimited, there would be maybe even a few kilometers in there to go into the direction of 300 kilometers on speedo at least, repeating it, for a stock Golf 8R. And I mean, even if the car, like for example Archie Hamilton tested it that in the UK, the car has maybe not 320 horsepower, but maybe in more the direction 335, 340, still that is an amazing number. And also we managed to do a time of 10.8 seconds on that race box, 100 to 200 with those summer tires now, which is even faster than the number that we managed to do a few months ago with the winter tires on that car. So this car really delivers more than you could actually expect, and it's very, very close in that regard already into the direction of A45S or something like that. Yeah, simply blown away, and probably even the more important fact is how the car handles at that kind of speed. The brakes were perfect when I had to brake hard. The suspension feels perfect. Even today we have a bit of wind going on, and that's usually a bit nervous in the steering, but not with this car. I mean, you could easily hold that, and no sweating hands, although I have my gloves on. Yes, simply blown away by the figures that we just observed.